The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Okay, let me just tell you my Stanaj story.
Okay.
It was a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I went to I think it was a Republic Records showcase where they brought their artists out. And it was a late night. I was about to leave. I had to go home. And someone said, "No, you really should stay and listen to this Stanaj." I'm like, "Great, I'll listen to it later. I gotta go." I think what I said, I'll listen to her later.
Hey.
They said, "Well, no, it's a he."
Wow.
I didn't know. I didn't know who you were. So I was walking out, and you started performing, and it was unbelievable. I walked back in, and I sat there and watched you do this incredible set.
I didn't know that.
Oh, absolutely. I was leaving. Your voice, I mean, you did a lot of up-tempo stuff, and don't get me started.
Thank you.
My nipples are so
Thank
hard.
you. Heyo.
Yeah,
I see him through the shirt.
He actually came in the next day, and I remember him saying, "You got to listen to this artist." And then we played you.
Literally, the next day, everybody's like waking me up. I'm getting like 100 phone calls, and they're like, "Turn on Z100, turn on Z100," and I turned it on right when you started crying, and then Danielle was like, "Elvis, I haven't seen you cry." And then the first thing I hear that comes out of your mouth is like, "Listen, Stanaj, don't get a big head." You're like, "Don't get cocky wherever you are."
Okay, let me explain myself. I'm Scottish. I cry.
Yes,
but, in this business that we're in, we are so fortunate to be touched by the art of so many incredibly talented people who not only can hit notes, but they sing from their soul. And it's just as an artist can sit in front of a canvas and create this artwork and we can throw it on the wall, I consider our show a gallery of the art that people like you put up there. And it makes me weep.
Hey.
Anyway, so I think you're awesome.
Thank you, guys. Seriously, and
big egoed Stanaj.
Yeah.
My head barely fit through the door. But listen, first thing I need to say before I even continue is the fact that every single day, every day from first grade to graduating high school, until I moved to LA, was Elvis Duran and the Z Morning Zoo going to school.
Wow.
Every single day, from the phone taps. I used to be like, I'm gonna be a little late for class this morning because this phone tap is just ridiculous. Like every day, and the fact that I'm sitting here is the craziest. Like I live up the street. I'm in Westchester. Like I'm born and raised in Westchester. Yeah. I went to school in Westchester. Like you guys, like that's
kind of wild.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
But let's talk about your childhood and growing up listening to our show. Did you ever imagine that one day your music would be on the radio?
Oh, man.
Well, no, seriously. Like, what was it in your youth, Stanaj, that made you want to sit in front of a keyboard and perform for people? Like, where did that come from? Where does that come from?
Well, I mean, it's literally in my family. Like everybody in my family sings. They do some kind of, instrument. My sister sings and plays the violin. My other brother did drums. My other brother singer and piano. I think because I was the baby / accident child, because they're all older than I am. My brother in the room back there, he's actually turning 41.
Wow.
Look at that, right?
So you're the spoiled brat.
So I'm like, they paved the way for me. They're like, okay, we can't do it. But literally when I was a kid, they were always so supportive of me actually trying to do it. And it was always actually Albanian music that I was singing. It really wasn't, I wasn't singing English music that much until like actually high school.
You should have stuck with that because the Albanian music scene is huge here in New York.
Albanian folklore is popping.
Yeah.
I know that they have a big radio station here somewhere. Where is that? Sing me an Albanian song. Come on.
Oh, man. Me kraçi pesin gatro poja o ty Kosove kit konge tak nova. Really lost my breath there. I haven't sang Albanian in so long. Oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
It's so beautiful though.
It's like almost like a yodel / I don't know. It's like chromatic scales.
Because of prayer sound.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up in this musical house.
I grew up in this musical house and
with parents, I'm assuming, who encouraged this.
Yeah.
They said, you need to go get a job in a tall building in the city.
You want to know what's funny? So my whole family does construction, right? And I remember when I was like, for the first time, again, I'm like the accident child. So my dad is actually like 73, 74. Mm-hmm. And my brothers were almost like my dad, like oddly enough. They were like the ones that I would go to if I, wanted to ask for something, right? So I remember I sat down at my brother Mark and I'm like, listen, I don't think I want to go to college. I think I want to do, music. And it's crazy because I knew my dad came here with nothing. I'm a child of immigrants, right? He came here with nothing, worked his butt off for me to, for all of us kids to do something with our lives, right? And go to college and get a great job, this is that. So I was like, what the hell? I'm gonna tell my dad, who's been like slaving away all these years, like, I want to go sing. Like, to me, I was so scared because I didn't know what was gonna happen, right? And I go to my brother, I'm like, listen, I want to do this. And before my brother told my dad, he was like, are you sure? This is a big thing. And I'm like, yeah. I would wake up every single morning and it was something new. But like one morning it would be a microphone. And then like right next to it, it would be a pair of plumber's pliers. And there would always be a note and he'd be like, choose one for the rest of your life. And then there would be like a microphone or like a blowtorch, right? Because it's like everybody does construction in my family. Like that's it's like there was no other option. It's like,
I would love a blowtorch.
You know what I mean?
Only on a Sunday.
So cool. Yeah.
And then I was like, listen, I want to do it. And I spoke to my dad and he's like, listen, I didn't work my butt off for you to, for you to be forced into something else. He's like, I worked my butt off for you to do what you love to do. And, that was my goal, was to be able to have my kids do what they love.
Wow.
And
That's
once
awesome.
I heard that, I was like, I was biting my fist. I was like, you're the MVP, Dad. I was like, you're the MVP. So I think it was since then, I drove to California from New York, packed up my car, which was an intense 5-day drive.
Right.
I was living at the Azul Inn Motel in Santa Monica.
Sounds sexy.
It was it was sexy, all right. It was something. And
so how long ago was that?
That was maybe like 3 years ago.
Right.
That was like probably a year before I met you.
So this is not an overnight thing. I
Oh,
mean,
No.
just keep in mind, we met you 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're still like,
But
you're still working your ass off to make it work.
Even that, because I was working in New York too. I was singing in every karaoke bar, every open mic in New York, and literally I was under 21, so I'm sneaking into these places. When I was in LA, I was going through the kitchen through like this little karaoke bars to try to go and sing, and it was so brutal because I'm singing in front of 3 drunk guys who are there after work, and nobody really cares. Like, you know what I mean? So it was almost like dejecting. Like, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, when did you finally get someone's attention that mattered?
So I was singing at, this is a true story actually, hand to God. I'm at the Azul Inn, and we've been singing at karaoke bars and open mics for maybe 2-3 months. And I'm getting super dejected, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm singing in front of like 3 people a night, like at a drunk karaoke bar, because I didn't know anybody in LA. I didn't know what to do. And then my brother's like, please tonight, let's just go out tonight, just you and me, no pressure, just sing a song, who cares? And I was like adamant that I didn't want to go. And he literally, him right there, he would not let me not go. He was like, dress up. Like, I'm not going to let you sit down and be like sad and mope around. He's like, you said you wanted to do it, you're going to do it. And we went to this like karaoke bar / open mic kind of thing in North Hollywood. And I'm in there and I sing, right? And in the back, I'm a big basketball fan. I see the point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks, Brandon Jennings. And he's there. I don't know what it was. It was like someone's birthday or something. And he's just randomly at this place, like just the most random thing ever. And he posts a video of me singing that night, right? Him and his girlfriend at the time. And then I wake up. I went to bed that night with like 3,000 followers. I wake up the next morning with like 25,000 followers, and I'm like, wait, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, what did I do last night?
You know what I mean? I'm like, did I drink that much? So it was like it was like that was the snowball that went like down Mount Everest, right? Because from that, this person saw it on Instagram, this person saw the video on Instagram, this person saw it on Instagram, and now I'm singing the same song in Drake's living room. Yeah.
Was Drake home?
Drake was home. It was like I'm breaking into his house. I'm like,
I think
excuse
it's
me.
a fair question.
No, he was home, and then from that, literally, Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, he shows her a video of me singing, and then she posts it, and then Chris Brown posts it, and then Justin Bieber came to my open mic night that I had at the W in Hollywood, and then Hollywood News was like, Justin Bieber visits artist friend Stanaj.
So this is how it worked for
Right?
you. I mean, it's not like this for everyone.
No.
Oh, hold on. I had never even been in a music studio yet. Like, I hadn't recorded a song yet.
Wow.
So all of this is happening. All the record labels are calling. All of this is happening while I'm at the Azul Inn, and I've never recorded a song. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, what is happening, right? So like nonstop. And there's like so many little stories, like just random stories. Like I'm getting a pit fire in North Hollywood, like this little corner place, right? And right behind me, taps on my shoulder. Jealous is the biggest song in the country, and it's Nick Jonas. He's like, dude, you have a great voice. Like, let's catch up. We should go and have dinner. I'm like,
after a while, you just don't. It's like, where are the cameras?
I'm having dinner at his house. I'm like going up the elevator into his apartment. It's like one of those. I'm like, what is happening? Like Haley Steinfeld's in there. She's like, hey, how are you? Blah blah blah. Like all this stuff, and I'm meeting all these people, and I'm like, dude. They're like, oh, like, do you have any music? And I've never recorded a song, right?
So I mean, did anyone ever look at you and go, wait a minute, you're a scam, man?
literally, my family calls me Forrest Gump because like the luckiest things that can happen, knock on wood or wherever it is.
Well, no, but these things happen for a reason. The universe is smiling at you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you deserve it, or you owe the universe big time.
Big time. I don't know what it is. All I know is that I'm super lucky, super grateful because it just kept happening. And I mean, it's luckily, I mean, I'm here. Like even this to me, and I don't want to sound like, oh gosh, he's trying to be nice. Like this is insane that I'm here. I look at this the same way as Brandon Jennings being at the karaoke bar and taking the video.
How wild. By the way, you're listening to Stanaj. He performed a few minutes ago. We're about to play, what are we going to play in a second?
Dirty Mind.
Oh, Dirty Mind. Okay, we're going to play that with your
Dirty Mind.
Now, did you go in
I don't know if I want you guys play. Yeah, right.
Wait, have you recorded it yet?
I recorded this at the karaoke bar.
I don't know.
Oh man.
But I love hearing the stories because every artist's story is unique. But I will tell you, there's a little behind the scenes disclosure I must give you. Mm-hmm. Stanaj is actually roommates with my best friend's son in LA, which is
so
another
crazy.
weird thing.
Yeah.
Literally, it gets smaller and smaller. And you've known Rosanna and LJ for how long now?
Since LJ, your roommate, he was a little boy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a little kid.
Yeah, Elvis came out there to me and he was like, you know, I've known LJ since he was a little kid. You know, mooning people around the building.
Oh yeah, no, let's not tell that story.
And I'm like, well, you've only known him for like a couple months. So that much has changed.
So not only do we know Stanaj through his music, and we're going to know more about him through more music if ever he really just records a song. And he has, and you're about to hear one.
I actually have a question if I can ask.
Oh no,
something.
please go right ahead.
When you guys actually came on air after that performance about 2 years ago, Danielle said she knew a bunch of Albanians.
Yeah.
And when she was younger, that she was actually protected by Albanians. And I DM'd her on Twitter. I was like, what were you being protected from?
I didn't know there was an Albanian mob here
I
in
was
New York.
like, what's happening that you need to be protected?
In the Bronx, when I went to school, we had a lot of Albanians. I had an Albanian family that lived on my block that I was very good friends with. And because I was part Slavic, I was allowed to wear the Albanian colors. In school, you were not supposed to wear red or black. Those were the Albanian colors, and you didn't wear them together, combination, in the school that I went to. But because they liked me, I was allowed to do it.
So you were actually protected by the Albanians.
Yeah, and if I had ever had a problem, I would go to one of them, and they would say, we got you.
It's taken care of.
Danielle, she used to come here and tell us about these crazy fights that she'd had with the other girls on the school bus.
Look,
Danielle, you used to throw hands?
I know. They threw hands
you
first.
You used to throw hands?
They threw hands and spit on me.
She threw nails and they spit on her, but they also put lemon under their fingernails. Why'd you do that?
No, they would do that because then when you cut somebody,
with
the lemon would burn under the skin. God. I never did that. Just people I know.
Who are you?
Just people
I don't know her. She's this mustachioed friend of mine.
Stop it. But I remember the Albanian family that lived on the corner when they would have a big wedding. It was amazing. They would be singing in the streets, and there'd be all kinds of musical instruments, and they'd have this huge party, and it was just so much fun.
Well, the small weddings are like 500 people.
It's so crazy. Wow.
How many people are you going to have at your wedding? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. We're going to elope. No one's coming to my wedding.
It's like there's going to be no lemon underneath the nails at the wedding.
Okay, let's get back on your story because I want to play your song. Seriously.
Of course.
Now, you've got work to do. You still have heads to turn. You haven't sold out a stadium yet.
Oh yeah.
This is your plan. So what's next? What Stanaj is going to do? What next? And what can we do to assist?
Oh man. I mean, you guys are just having me here today is like seriously like on my list of dreams come true. This is right up there with, my biggest goals when I started this was like, I want, one of my first goal number one was sell out Madison Square Garden.
Okay, we can do that.
Like being in New York, I hope so. Being in New York, I was like, I've always like, I don't care if I'm doing stadiums, if I'm doing, Wembley, 90,000 a night. Like,
what is it about Madison Square Garden? Because every artist says that.
It's the magic. It really is. Like, I know it sounds...
It's really just a big square building with a stage at the end of the day.
It is. Once you get inside, because when you look from the outside, it kind of looks just like... It's just like another building in the city, right?
It's not a very attractive building, no.
But once you get inside, there's something that happens, and I think since I was going there, because, you go to Knicks games when you're 8 years old, 9 years old. So I think for me, it's more of that, like, sentimental thing, and just the magic itself. So it was always Madison Square Garden, Z100, and won a Grammy Award.
All right.
So
right, 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
There you go.
So right now I'm literally like, because you're asking me, what's next and what do I have to do? Every day I'm in the studio recording. I have to keep putting out songs because, I've garnered all these fans, right? That were fans of mine again before I ever recorded a song, right? When I signed my record deal, I think I had 300 and something thousand followers without any songs out. And that was just
great.
What a scam, man.
That was all from people posting me. When Chris Brown posted me that night, I woke up and literally it was like 10 hours later, I think it was 76,000 more followers. Right?
How many followers do you have on Instagram today?
Today I have 410.
Wow. 410,000.
Not 410.
Yeah.
I know, but you know what?
I mean, it's not the biggest number in the world, but I think for me, it's like...
For a scam artist like you,
Yeah.
it's
You know what I mean?
For someone who hadn't even recorded a note.
Check your pockets.
Where's my watch?
Yeah.
When it was Stanaj, I'm so proud of you. And I want to, I want to just remind everyone, we're on the 50-yard line in this game. So we're going to watch you. We're going to be here for you. And I can't wait till you sell out your first Madison Square Garden concert. It's not going to be this year.
Thank you.
It's not going to be this year.
Thank you.
So
it's not going to be this year, and it is a lot of hard work. And when it happens, I know I have a bunch of artist friends that have told me, like, I was in Miami with Shawn Mendes, right? And I was telling him, I was venting to him and telling him all this stuff, and he was like, "Dude, when it happens, like it happens. Like he's like, just keep going. Don't worry about it. Like." It just happens. The same thing. We're good family friends with Dua Lipa. And they're like, when it happens, it happens. So for me, I'm just like, keep my head down.
Because we were there with them when it happened for them. Because we knew both Dua Lipa and Shawn Mendes before they had before they had 300,000 followers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And look at them now. It happened. Well, congratulations,
Thank
Stanaj.
you.
Now, before we play your song, I want to ask you, looking back, can you think of a song that changed your life? A song that you can look back on and go, wow, that song actually means more than most others.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Well, my favorite song ever, written to me is actually I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. But the song where I was listening to it and I was like, you know what? I want to do music for the rest of my life. This is what I want to do. Was Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River.
Wow. What about this song that made you feel that?
I mean, everything from the vocal to the production. It was just. I remember having my headphones in and I was just completely, in awe of this song. And I was like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do, right? And I remember Justin obviously is Justin. He's a legend and he's a living legend already. Mm-hmm. Probably as an artist, one of my biggest inspirations, right? And I really don't get nervous much because when I'm singing, I won't sing unless I know 100% I know what I'm doing. Like I know the song like the back of my hand. I've practiced it 1,000,000 times, so I don't get nervous. I'm like, I'm gonna do what I do 1,000,000 times, in rehearsal. So when I was on Jimmy Fallon, like I was good. My whole family was, they were in the bathroom nonstop because they were so nervous. I'm in the back room. I'm like ready to go. And then they hit me with a curveball. They're like, oh, by the way, Justin's here tonight. Now, and I'm good, right? Like I was so good before that. Like the however million people watching, I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like I got this. And then out of nowhere, I'm getting my makeup done in the dressing room. And knock, knock, knock. Who is it? It's Justin, right? And he walks in and he goes, "Hey man," he said something along the lines like, "You know, I don't want to bother you too much before you go on. I just want to say that like I'm a big fan of your voice, and you know, I think you're really, really awesome. I've heard about you for a couple months now, and I think that you have like a super insane voice." And I'm sitting there thinking of Cry Me a River.
Did you crap your pants at that point?
I literally can't even say what I said on air.
Okay.
I turned around and I was like, "Shut the bleep up."
Right.
I was like, "Shut up." And he's looking at me like I'm telling him like to shut up. I'm like, "Shut your face." I was like, "You're not in my dressing room right now. This is not happening."
Oh, I bet he loved that.
Aw.
And he was dying of laughter, and you know, we started talking, and he's just, it's scary to meet your idol. To me, at least. Like,
well, they say you should never meet your idols
It's-
because typically you'll be
disappointed because,
Yeah.
like, you
But
know,
how were you that night? You were good?
to me, I was like, I never thought of meeting him, nothing. I was like, if I meet him, like, if he's not the guy who I envisioned, better than the guy who I thought.
Aw.
Literally, like, take my number. Let's talk if you need anything. Like, the fact that I could text him in my phone, he doesn't need me for anything.
But
You know, he doesn't.
Have you sent him texts?
Yeah. I've sent him. I don't like
Well,
to
he's
be.
asked-
I don't like to be like
he's
that guy
asked
where I'm
me-
like,
He's
Talking
asked me to
about
tell
that.
you to stop.
stop.
You're that guy.
Enough.
That is so cool.
So it's literally it's going from Cry Me a River to having that, and it's he actually, they told me, because he was doing Trolls the movie, and they were like, he has to go do promo for the movie, so he can't stay for your performance. So I was like, oh.
Were you happy he wasn't staying for your performance?
Actually, no. At that point, I committed that he was gonna be there, so
Uh-huh.
I was like, focus, you got this. And then I was like, oh man, he's not gonna be there. And he gets dressed up. He's in his coat. He's in his hat. Everybody's ready to leave the building. He goes, "You know what?" He goes, I want to stay and watch you." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "I want to stay and watch." And my whole family's in the green room, and he's like, he goes in like with his little Scully, like in. I believe he went into the live room. I see him in the corner of the live room, like where all the audience is, and I'm sitting up there with the microphone about to start, and I'm like, Justin Timberlake is right there watching me. I'm like, I was singing "Cry Me a River" as loud as I can in my bathroom, and now he's sitting there watching me. And I finished the performance. He goes like this. He gives me like a nice clap, and then he tweets me like, "This kid Stanaj has an insane voice."
Wow.
So
Wow, I love this.
So
it's crazy.
Life-
My family calls me Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Like, it just,
So Stanaj, I guess it's simple. It's simple to say, but I'll say it. Life is great.
life is great. It gets hard, and there was so many hard times to get to where I am. Like, you know, you always see the good stuff, right? And everybody has a story. Everybody has a tough time. Everybody has, you know, the struggle, whether it's in music, whether it's in anything.
But you should have that. You need the
You
struggle.
need it. You need it because it builds who you are as an artist. It builds your character. And for me, it's helped me with songwriting. It's helped me with my music. And I'm grateful for both, you know, however amazing the good times are, and however many times I'm like, you know, damn, I wish this didn't happen, or this is like, I'm in a really tough spot. Looking back at them now, I'm grateful for them because they were a stepping stone for me to be in this room.
There you go. Well, I'm
Wow.
glad you are in this room, Stanaj.
I
Thank you.
think so many people are going to fall in love with you just by listening to you talk and your stories and just how genuine you are.
I
So
still
Be
think
awesome.
careful, I'm a scam artist.
I think it's still a scam.
Elvis is checking his pocket.
You know, look, I've been around a long time. This guy's a total scam.
I love him.
Stanaj, thank you for coming in
Thank
today.
you so much.
We love you. Okay, now set it up. The song.
This song, Stanaj, Dirty Mind, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Do you want me to say it as in like, this is, do you want me to set it up like a promo?
Just what's the song about?
Okay.
How did the song come to be?
So the song, actually, Republic Records and even, you know, management, they had no idea that, well, they knew about the song, right? And the song actually, I write pretty much like 95% of my songs. This song I actually didn't write. However, I heard it, and to me, when you got to sing a song for the rest of your life, right? God willing, hopefully I'm like Bennett on stage until I'm like 100 years old, right? And I'm like, I got to sing a song for the rest of my life. If I don't write it, I at least got to make sure it's relatable to me and I can connect with it forever.
Mhm.
So I hear this song, and, you know, for one of the first times, I'm like, this song is like, it's me. It's like my goofiness, it's my realness, it's like everything in one song. And I'm like, okay, this is the song. And then I find out that, you know, there's like 7 to 10 other artists that want the song. And I can't say who they are, but these are like big artists, right? And I'm like, we need the song. So, my brother, Jason Flom, Monty, Avery, they all, hop on a call. Jason flies to LA. We're like, we need the song.
Is this what happens to songs? People fight over songs?
It is crazy.
Does it go to the highest bidder?
Well, actually, once I recorded the song, I think that's when they were like,
well, who wrote it? Who said, okay, Stanaj, you may have my song?
It was Ry Keys. It was Johnny Price, JP Sax, and Lucky Day. And, I think once they heard me on it, they were, from what they told me that day in the studio, they were like, this is it. Like, once they heard my voice on it, they were like, this is the perfect fit for it. And, I have the song in my car, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, man, this would be sick with Ty Dolla $ign. And I had met Ty because I did Ultra with Afrojack in Miami, and he was in his set. So I just met Ty, and, just very high and by, but, we were friendly enough to exchange phone numbers. So I text him once in a while, and it was great. And I was like, do I text him to be on the song? Like, am I that close? Am I going to burn a bridge? Like, I don't want him to think that I'm, like, thirsty to, like, have a song, but, you got to shoot your shot. You only have one shot to do this music thing. So I'm like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen anyway. So I sent him the song with the open bridge, and I'm like, hey, man, like, hope you're doing well. I would love for you to be on the song, right? And he always responds to me, always, instantly. But this song, like, I send this message, and there's no response. And I'm like, oh, no. And now we're going on, like, 5-6 hours of no response. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's on a flight or something. Something's happening. 10 hours, no response. I'm like, he doesn't like the song, or it's just not going to happen. And then I get a FaceTime, and he's at the Palms Casino Hotel in Vegas in the studio, and he's just holding the phone up in the air, the FaceTime, with his verse playing in the background of Dirty Mind.
He was already doing it.
And he was doing it while I was in the bathroom, like, sweating my brains out.
That's
I'm like,
so cool.
holy crap, is this guy doing it? And he sends it, and, like, while the song's playing, he's like, I love this song. This song's a smash. And he's, like, holding it up. He's like, we got one. And literally, I go to Republic the next day. I slap my phone on the table. I'm like, Stanaj, Dirty Mind featuring Ty Dolla $ign, and everybody's like, what? I was
That's so awesome.
Boom.
See, you never hear how these things happen.
It's so cool.
You think it's like months and months of going back and forth. No, he just recorded it.
Yeah, he was like,
you
here you go.
Now it's grab. All right, well, here it is.
So that's Dirty Mind, Stanaj featuring Ty Dolla $ign.
Here we go. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.